Hey, this is Chris Pepelinski here. Here to talk about my latest review for the movie Dunkirk. I would happen to say this is probably like one of the rare times that I'd probably post like a not so great review since, I remember when I saw the trailer for Dunkirk, it had like what I would consider very high expectations since I guess it looked flashy and it looked, like an interesting, story, but instead, in my personal opinion, I felt the movie was like very overhyped, and I know Christopher Nolan, who did a very good job on the Batman trilogy, and of course Interstellar, but I kind of felt in this particular case, I felt it was one of the rare flops story-wise that he did. I mean, because usually his new movies are known to be long, and this is like I guess one of the few ones that's like under 2 hours long. I felt this would have been like one of the cases where Dunkirk would have benefited more from like a longer running time over 2 hours, and I thought was one of the biggest problems with the movie was like there was practically no character development with the characters, since I felt like to me the characters were just being thrown in for like a slaughter and things like that, rather than getting to know the characters, caring about them, which I feel, I guess, from a writing standpoint, I feel is very important. Because to me, if you don't have characters you care about, to me, there's no story to it. But even so, basically, Dunkirk, is about the British soldiers, who was involved in the Second World War and who were trapped, which was about over 400,000, trying to get home. And this film happens to be the acting debut of One Directioner Harry Styles, who actually does surprisingly a pretty good job in the movie as the British soldier named Alex. I just wish they would have given him a little bit more to do, but I guess with the limited material that he has, he does pretty well. I mean, hopefully he'll decide to do other acting roles in the future, but I would say for the first time around, he does a decent job. I would also say that Kenneth Braga, who plays an admiral in the movie, is also one of the standouts, and Mark Rylance, who won his Oscar for the what I call not so great Bridge of Spies movies, a civilian, named Mr. Dawson, who's also involved in one of the rescues of the British soldiers. I know that the whole point of Dunkirk was to split into like three stories, intertwined between the parts in the land, the sea and the air, which was an interesting idea. But when it's like, I guess what you consider a non-linear story, it kind of gets a little confusing, trying to figure out what's going on. And in my personal opinion, there are other war movies that I thought were far superior, like Saving Private Ryan, Hacksaw Ridge, and We Were Soldiers. But everybody has their own view on it. But I would say, I mean, well, there is a high chance it'll probably, get, nominated probably for Best Picture or maybe Best Director for the 2018 Academy Awards. But I would say it was something, I mean, I wouldn't really recommend too much, but I know, I mean, for others, they might have a different opinion about it, but, I guess sometimes, even though the critics may like it, the audience may not. So, it's all a matter of personal taste. I guess for those that watch the video, I mean, hopefully they'll comment, and I would appreciate if they let me know if they had like a different view on the movie. And I just wanted to say thank you for those that had the time to watch this, and take what I thought was what I call a blunder in my personal opinion, but to each their own. Okay, thanks.